Landing a lethal edge threat can instantly ignite a franchise, transforming a stagnant front four into a dominant, elite force. A relentless rush suffocates quarterbacks, patches secondary holes, and stalls the run, giving your offense total control of the game. The elite game changers live at the top of the draft board. True generational ceilings are found early every single year. Meet the two titans ready to redefine their future teams, David Bailey and Rueben Bain Jr., both projected top 5 locks. Yet high stakes bring high risks. One wrong pick and your supposed defensive anchor becomes a total, absolute draft bust. Let's break down the tape, starting with Texas Tech's own David Bailey, to dissect his raw talent and glaring red flags. Bailey is the physical powerhouse of the pair, boasting explosive, high-octane athleticism that jumps right off the game film. While slightly undersized, he dominated the nation in sacks and tackles for loss using his elite, natural-born physical gifts. He's a certified speed demon. While most guys win with brute force, Bailey attacks with a lightning-fast 40-yard dash. Traditional rushers try to bulldoze through a lineman's chest, forcing them to plant their feet and brace for a collision. Once they re-anchored, you swipe their hands, chop through the block, and scream around the edge because they're stuck. Bailey flips the script. His pure speed forces tackles to panic step and scramble just to keep him in their sights. You'll see linemen literally turning and sprinting backward in a desperate race to cut him off, opening his full arsenal. He possesses a bull rush and a heavy long arm, but his deceptive ghost move is what leaves blockers grabbing at air. The secret to the ghost move is threatening with pure speed, forcing the tackle to plant before you disappear completely. Notice Bailey's explosive jump and how he squares up Isaiah World, baiting the tackle into bracing for a massive collision. He flashes the hands, then dips. By the time World tries to engage, Bailey is already 5 yards past him. Pure, unadulterated speed. That is the engine that drives every single part of David Bailey's lethal pass rush identity. When he stacks that velocity with technical precision, he closes the gap on the quarterback in the blink of an eye. Tackles are forced to overset to the outside, terrified of being beaten to the corner by his sheer, unmatched pace. That's when the counters hit, like this sharp rip move where he sacrifices speed for leverage and incredible body control. His bend is elite. We emphasize hip flexibility because it's the difference between a simple pressure and a game-changing sack. Plenty of athletes can reach the corner, but without that internal torque and flexibility, they simply cannot finish the play. Without bend, you're just a guy getting washed out of the pocket while the quarterback finds an open receiver downfield. Bailey's fluid hips allow him to absorb contact, maintain his balance, and curve tight to the quarterback for the kill. Any prospect combining world-class speed with a functional bull rush is a guaranteed blue-chip superstar at the next level. However, Bailey's power game is inconsistent, his technique remains raw, and his leverage often fails him at the point of attack. Watch Dalton Marmon overcommit to the edge, anticipating another speed rush and leaving himself vulnerable to the inside power. Bailey capitalizes with a bull rush, catching the tackle off balance as he tries to maintain his outside leverage against speed. It's an explosive highlight, but his pad level is dangerously high. A flaw that veteran non-full pros will exploit instantly. In the big leagues, where everyone is a mountain, poor leverage is a death sentence for a developing pass rusher. At the professional level, refined technique is the only thing separating the busts from the perennial pro. Bold talents. If handful tackles can match your speed and done to fear your power, your impact on the game will vanish quickly. To his credit, Bailey is a heat-seeking missile in space, effortlessly blowing up speed options and chasing down outside runs. His sideline-to-sideline range is terrifying, allowing him to hunt down ball carriers regardless of where the play goes. The real concern is his run defense, where his diagnostic skills often lag behind his elite physical movements and speed. He gets caught looking on pin and pull schemes, often falling victim to simple crack blocks coming from the tight end. Getting beat by Kanyan Sadi is one thing, but getting fooled twice on the same concept is a major worry. It raises questions about his football IQ. Is he truly processing the game or just reacting, unlike the cerebral Rueben Bain? Rueben Bain is a proven winner, a 3-year starter at Miami who helped lead the Hurricanes to a national title. His sack totals are modest, but 83 pressures and 68 hurries led the nation. Despite the short arm narrative, critics point to his bottom 1% reach, but on the field, he's absolutely manhandling blocker blues regardless of his wingspan. Bain is the hammer to Bailey's scalpel. When he gets those hands inside, his superior strength ends the rep instantly. He's a bull rush specialist by trade, intentionally closing the distance to negate his reach disadvantage and dominate the chest. He has the raw power to move mountains, but he must win the hand-fighting battle first to avoid getting stalled. Those short arms are a ticking time bomb, eventually leaving him physically incapable of shedding blocks or outreaching tackles. It gets ugly in the run game when you're caught holding ground instead of driving the line backward. A two-gap system will bury him. He will get swallowed up by superior reach on every single play. However, in a one-high look, he is lethal, a brilliant technician and arguably the most cerebral prospect available. Remember how lost Bailey looked when he couldn't diagnose those complex pin and pull schemes. Bain identifies the tight end immediately. Reading the pull the second the lineman leaves his post, he obliterates the tight end instantly. Boom, a massive tackle for a loss that ruins the drive. Watch him here in a wide 9 alignment, positioned way out on the edge of the tackle. Indiana sends the tight end across, but Bain doesn't just blind charge the quarterback. He sniffs out the option. Mendoza actually hesitates for a split second, breaking the usual rhythm of an immediate outside sprint. That pause creates chaos, but Bain trusts his eyes, utilizes his instincts, and completely wrecks the play. Time and again, he dissects alignments and splits like a veteran defensive coordinator on the field. He maps out the offensive formation early, then weaponizes that knowledge to dominate in the fourth quarter. On this pin and pull sequence, he spots the uncovered left guard telegraphing the entire play. First, it is an RPO where Bain tracks the ghost of the running back with surgical precision. Next snap, he feels the same concept coming, shifts his leverage, and explodes through the correct gap. That elite football translates directly into a masterclass of pass rushing efficiency and timing. He creates a chess match, baiting the offensive lineman into a move just to execute the perfect counter. He initiates with a punishing bull rush through the pads, conditioning the tackle for the trap later on. He hits a quick shimmy, faking the power move, and solves the hand-fighting puzzle in real time. The tackle tries a desperate hug technique, grabbing both of Bain's shoulder pads to stop the bleeding. Bain transitions into a vicious rip move, turning the corner for a massive, game-changing national championship highlight. Still, the critics won't stop talking about those short arms and his smaller-than-average hand size. His hands measured 9/1/8 inches. Bottom-tier stuff that puts him in the smallest percentile. I usually ignore measurements, but this is one of those rare cases where it actually shows on film. You see moments where he tries to turn the corner, but gets hung up in the tackle-less chest. He wins the initial contact, but those small hands struggle to maintain control once the battle starts. He simply lacks the grip strength to snatch a lineman's jersey and toss him into the dirt. The physical limitations are real, so between these two edge rushers, who actually holds the edge? Bain is a high powerhouse with a diverse bag of counters and a relentless bull rush. Bailey is the freak athlete, a high-speed blur with perfect measurements who plays at 100 miles per hour. But Bailey is raw and often looks lost, whereas Bain is a polished technician with zero wasted movement. If I'm making the call, I'm taking Bain, but only in a one-gap system that hides his reach. His combination of raw power and mental processing allows him to dominate both the pass and the run. If these two reach their full potential, they will become the cornerstones of their respective defensive fronts. We know the formula. Elite defenses are built on the backs of dominant, game-wrecking pass rushers. Whichever team pulls the trigger on these stars is securing a bright, violent future for their defensive line.